Supernova lyrically is basically about delusions of grandeur. It's one man's journey into the ego zone. It's basically just about believing all the hype and bullshit and getting carried away with it. In a music sense, with this song, it's pretty much all Joe. I had one little input, more a suggestion really, was the heavy part in the midsection. But apart from that, it was totally Joe's idea, and he wrote this song. I think he was going for a Zakk Wylde type of feel at the time, and of course, and then Ed, chucked his keys on top just to add a bit of sparkle to it. But that's pretty much how it all went down.
This track came to me pretty close to the end of the writing process for this current batch of songs. It was almost like a bonus track in some ways. Well, that's the way it made me feel at the time, almost like a bit of a surprise, because as we were getting closer to the end of writing, I started to get the feeling that we'd reached the end in terms of what Dave and Joe had written, and then it just seemed to keep coming. Not that it was a big drama, it was more like, how the fuck did these guys write so much material, in such a short space of time? Honestly, I was very surprised at how productive Dave and Joe had been in that time. When you think about it, it's kind of staggering. They actually wrote a ton of amazing material in what seemed like the blink of an eye, and to be honest, I wasn't aware of how many songs they had actually recorded, so it just came as a bit of a surprise when the songs kept coming. From a songwriting perspective, I just tried to add a little bit more melody to the song. From a keyboard perspective, lots of little catchy themes and melodies, just because the song was a little different to some of the other stuff that was written.
I think I'd have to say that I was satisfied with the song more than happy with the song. It probably sounds weird, but it's I don't think it's a great song. I think it's an okay song, and for what we did with it turned out okay.
For me, this song is another one of those straight ahead fun songs, much like the song we released a couple of months ago called The Trip. There's absolutely nothing wrong with simpler songs like this, but for me they stand out a little more than some of the others because they sound quite different to our standard musical output. It's actually fun to write in style from time to time, just because it's so different from our normal musical standpoint. There are parts of this song that are absolutely some of my favourite musical moments in all the stuff we've written recently. Not from a personal perspective, but my involvement in those sections is minimal. But just from a songwriting perspective and a performance perspective, there just seems to be something there that I absolutely love. In the middle of the song, there's this amazing breakdown which has this kind of Middle Eastern vibe to it, which I fucking love. The music, and in particular the vocals in that section, just give me goosebumps. There's just something about it that I really love, especially when the heaviness begins to kick back in. It really does it for me. So look, basically I like this song. It's a fun song, much like The Trip, as I mentioned earlier. It kind of moves ahead at a steady pace and is a pretty easy listen overall. And of course the breakdown in the middle is a thing of absolute beauty. So yeah, overall pretty happy with this one. It's catchy and it's fun. What more can I say? I actually just listened back to the song before recording this dialogue, just to refresh my memory a little. It's been a while since I did my parts for this track, and the first thing that struck me was the keyboard sound for some of the melodic sections in the song. If I had my time again, if I had to be brutally honest, I would probably change that sound to something else in those sections. It's just a little thing that I noticed in hindsight, and I guess everything is easier in hindsight, isn't it? At the time of recording I thought it sounded pretty good, but just coming back to it with fresh ears, it probably could have used a fuller, warmer sound in there. Still very happy with the track overall. Just a small complaint from a personal perspective. Alright then, that was a nice quick one. Thanks for tuning in once again. Hope you enjoyed the look behind the curtain, so to speak. Don't forget to give Supernova a listen if you haven't already. You can find all the appropriate links in our link tree in the description below. That will take you to where you want to go. We'll be back with another song next month and a whole set of new videos to check out. As I said, hope you enjoyed the video and the new song, and we'll catch you again next month. Until then.